Friends, welcome to masterclass number 4. This lesson is all about combining a riff with a chord sequence. The chord sequence in question is A, D and E, and the riff is really cool and it's been used in millions of songs. When I play it, you'll instantly know it. You've probably heard me playing it loads of times. Before we go any further, download your paperwork from the blue link below. Okay, and I'll explain what it is when you've downloaded it, or you can look at it on screen. Okay, you probably won't even need this paperwork. It's very, very straightforward and very easy to remember. Okay, before I go any further, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. For those older viewers, it doesn't mean you pay for anything. You just press that button to let you know that whenever I put a video up, you'll see me. And if you don't want to subscribe anymore, you press it again and I will vanish. And thank you to all those who've donated via the super thanks, because it pays for all the tea and coffee while I'm working on these things. It doesn't go to waste. So thank you very much for that. Right, let's get straight into it. A, D and E. You will know A, D and E like this. You'll probably play your A like that, and your D like this, and your E like this. We're going to play our A like this with one finger across 4 strings. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'll play what we're going to play and then I'll go into more detail of how we're going to do it. Here's your A. There's our D. There's our A again. E, D, A, etc, etc. Okay, so we're going to learn that basic riff. So let's begin. One finger across the 4 strings at the 2nd fret, and we're gonna. It's instead of doing this with 3 fingers, we're going to use 1, because we need to use these fingers, as you've just seen, to do other stuff with. All right, so 1 finger like that, and you're going to use your 3rd finger to play the 5th and the 4th string. You can use your little finger if you want, it doesn't matter, whatever is easiest, whatever one you can reach to. If you find it difficult to reach, then put a capo on and try it again when this lesson's over, and you'll find that the frets are a bit closer together. But for now, we'll do it without the capo. Right, so 1 finger. Now, this is the important bit. On your right hand, your plec hand, okay? You can do this with fingers, by the way. I'm going to show you how to do this with your fingers as well. So for those people that don't like using a plec, fear not. Just bear with me and we'll get to that as well. You're going to play, this is what you're going to, 5, 3, 5, 3, okay? Down on the 5 and up on the 3, twice. And then down on the 4 and up on the 3, twice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's your count. And the string numbers are 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. Okay, so the first 5 that you do will have no finger on other than this one. When you play the 5 again, you will put your 3rd finger or your little finger, I'll use my little finger if you like. You'll come down on the 5 and you'll bring it off when you do the 3. So you've got a 5 with a finger off and a 5 with a finger on. And if you say this little phrase, chant it in your head: off and on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off and on. Okay, we did 1 5 with it off and 1 5 with it on. The upstroke we did as well. 5 3 5 3. Do the same on the 4th string. Off and on. Off and on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off and on. Can you see it from this angle? I'm not leaving the finger on when I do the upstrokes, because it's when you first start playing, you're probably likely to do this and catch it. So as you hit the 3rd string, I'll use my 3rd finger this time, might be easier to see. There's your 5 and then up on the 3. Here's our 5 again. And then when I come up on the 3, I'll take it off. Do the same on the 4th string. 4th string with no finger on, only the one that's got the bar, little mini bar at the 2nd fret. Down on the 4, with no third finger on. And then again. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and off and. You say you want a revolution. Well, that was who did that? Well, of course, it was the Beatles' Revolution. I heard Helen Wheels today by Paul McCartney. Said farewell to my last hotel. It never was much kind of a boat. Mark Bolan. What if you ever see a woman walking through New York City? There's millions of them, every Elvis song. Anyway, that's how you do the A. Now when we go to our D, which is the second chord in our sequence, 3 fingers, we'll play a D in a traditional way. Everything that we've just done on the 5 and the 3, we're going to move our pluck down now, and we're going to do the same pattern only on strings 4 and 2. So we're going to go down on the 4, up on the 2, down on the 4, up on the 2, because we're going to do it twice, and then we're going to come down on the 3 and up on the 2, and then down on the 3 and up on the 2. Okay, now clearly we've only got our little finger to do stuff with, so we down on the 4 with no little finger on, up on the 2. When you come down on the 4 for the second time, as with the A, we put this finger on. So off and on and then onto the 3rd string with no finger on, off and on and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and off and on and off and on and off. You see this pleck? 4, 2, 4, 2. That's all the pleck's doing. And on the, when you're going to change back to the other chord, just on the last half beat, what does that mean? Well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just take your fingers off. It'll sound great, watch. You get a da-dum, sounds fantastic. Right, the 3rd chord, an itch, 3rd chord is an E. We don't want to play our E like this. Why? Because we need fingers to do stuff with. So we're going to abbreviate it as we did with the A, and we're going to use this finger to play these 2 strings here like that. Now everything is now moved up towards the ceiling by 1 string, so instead of it being 5 and 3 as it was on the A, or 4 and 2 as it was on the D, it's now 6 and 4. So we're going to go 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 6. Same pattern as far as the movement is concerned, just that everything's shifted up. Very important you don't hit a 3rd string though, because if you do, remember that there should have been a finger there. We've not got it there now, so please do not hit the 3rd string, otherwise applause will be laughter, and we don't want that. And similarly, when you've done this 3rd finger or your little finger, whichever's easiest, will play the bass string, in this case the 6th string at the 4th fret. So 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, dum ba dum ba dum. Or use your 3rd finger. 3rd finger is preferable. Now, if you look at your paperwork now that I've demonstrated what we're doing, you can't get any simpler than this. This is your first bar. You've got 5, 3 with the finger off, 5, 3 with the finger on, see there, 4, 3 with the finger off, and then 4, 3 with the finger on. All right, and same with the D on page 2. Same sort of thing. You know, you can't, if you can't understand this, then, well, I don't know what to say. You know, I do these for me, by the way, because I call them idiot proof, because you've got to be an idiot not to understand what to do. You might struggle to play them a little bit, but you should be able to understand it immediately, okay? I mean, don't worry about struggling to play these things, because, you know, people forget guitar. It's like a sport, it's a physical thing, okay? You can't learn how to play guitar reading a book, reading about it. You've got to get up and do it. It's like golf. You can't learn to play golf reading a book. You've got to lose a million balls before you get in there. And there's RE, okay? There's RE. So all of that is laid out. Now, the additional sheet number 4, you can say, well, that's all very well, Rob, but where the hell do I put all these things now that you've told us what to do? I'll say, well, you know, calm down. This is our little layout. Now, every time you see one of these cut things, you know, 4 A's, you'll go dumba 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 dinga 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 ding dinga 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 ding and A da 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 and A da 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 D da E sorry D dum dum da A da 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 D da 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 and so on. And at the very end, if you when you wanted to end it, you'd play the E and the D, and you'd put a little run at the end, which I've put in tab. Where did I put my play? Which goes like this. So the E, D, sorry, D. And you'd accept the applause with grace and just a hint of smuggery. Okay, so that's what you do there. Now, if you wanted to do, say you couldn't use a pleck, or you say, I don't want to do it with a pleck, sorry, that's fine. 1 finger and 1 thumb, okay, 1 finger and 1 thumb. And your first finger is going to do the upstroke of the pleck, and your thumb will play the downstroke of the pleck, like so. So we were going, on the A, we were going 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. So 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, just 1 finger. So you can do it like that. To D, to A, to E, to D, to A. So, you know, you can have fun with it either way. Now, when you've done that, let's go back to using the pleck. It is preferable to use a pleck with it, but that was for people who insistent that they can't use one. You can get a bit tiring doing this all the time. So what you can do is, if you do the count like this, again, restrict your pleck action to the 5, 4 and 3 if you're playing the A, and the 4, 3 and 2 if you're playing the D, and the 6, 5 and 4 if you're playing the E. But instead of doing a lot of movement, you can just do this. For example, on the A, you'll go. Now, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on beats 2 and 4, and only on beats 2 and 4, put your 3rd finger or your little finger onto the 4th string at the 4th fret. And when you've got your breath back, you go, I'm getting tired. Similarly with the D, if you get tired, you will put your little finger again, same strum, restricted now to the 4, 3 and 2, and your little finger will jump onto the 3rd string on beats 2 and 4, and again back to the A, following the same pattern that we did before. E, D, so that's how we incorporate like bass lines, if you like, with chord patterns. And it's great if you're you know, when you're playing a guitar like this and you're accompanying a voice. It's very, I mean, these things are unforgiving, you know. If you cock up on an acoustic guitar, everybody hears it. So what I would do is, say I was doing a song, say it was a rock and roll song. Say it was like, I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. I'm getting tired. I said shake, rattle and roll. Come on over, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. Now we can put more stuff in next week if you like. More in. but the basic thing is the dinga 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 ding, and we can just embellish it more and more and more as we get going. Now, if this lesson does okay, masterclass number 4, next week, you know, I'll look at the views and I'll see how many people watch it, and if it's okay, then we'll maybe do something like this. Same 3 chords, probably doing something more rocky, more. Again, using a bass line, but with a more drivey approach. All right. So that is how you play your guitar riffs with your basic chords. Now the key to it is to go slowly. Don't try and do it too quickly. All right. Now let's just go over it one more time. The first thing we do is put our finger on what was the A. Instead of doing it like this, one finger across 4 strings, okay? Plec, okay? Rest your hand, you don't want to be flapping your arm around, okay? Just 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 5. And just do that. See the way I'm grabbing onto this string? I know I'm not going to use it, so I'll hold on to it. And what I also do with the A, I always let my thumb rest on top of the bass string. I don't do that and press it in. I just do that as if I'm hanging my hand somewhere, okay? Because we don't want to hear that when we're playing this. We don't want to hear this. We want to hear this. And remember the chant, off and on, off and on, and off and on, and off and on, and off and on, and then when you're changing chord, just hit the strings open. Don't care about anything else. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and off and on 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 and off and on. Da-dum, da-dum. Okay, that's how you do it. Those open strings sound fantastic when you're playing it, and of course everybody does it. All the seasoned players do it. They don't realise they're doing it, most of them. And when you buy a book, these guitar books are usually written by classically trained musicians that don't really play guitars. They play pianos, and of course it would be abhorrent to them to think that you would do this on a guitar when it's all the strings open. So it fails to tell you that that is actually in the real world what happens when you're playing a guitar like this. Classical guitar is different because within the classical piece that you're playing, open strings are written into the piece so you can move around the neck. When you're striking them all at the same time, you can't do that. You're stuck with hitting them all at the same time when you're playing a chord. All right. So there we have it. I've called this a rock and roll shuffle, if you look at the paperwork. All right. But download it now and get stuck into it. All right. There it is. As I say, I don't know how many more of these masterclass things I'll do. It all depends on how successful they are. The main lessons, of course, as you should know now, are on Saturday. I did Every Breath You Take the other day, which proved to be, well, it's proven to be very popular, that one, because I've simplified it without changing any of the notes, and it's a great one to do, and it's easy, when you know how to do it. All right. And this will help you do that. It's all about coordination. So I'm going to love you and leave you again. Thank you for those little super thanks things that you do, for the tea and for the coffee. I drink a lot when I'm working these things out, so I appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Feel free to share all my stuff to whoever you like. I don't care. I really don't. The more people that play music, the better. We live in a mad world, don't we? So let's keep it sane by playing our guitars, all right, and let the rest of them. I was going to say something bad then, but I'm not going to. All right, I'll let you get on with it. I'll see you all on Saturday if you're going to join me then. Right, until then, you take care. Bye bye.